For a long time, Americans didn't worry about visas. That little blue passport felt like a magic key, opening doors to almost any country, no questions asked. But now, things are changing. And fast, hat. If I told you that many countries that once welcomed Americans with smiles are now saying, hold on, you need a visa first. No more easy entry. In fact, getting a visa is now harder than ever in some places. Sounds shocking? It's real. Some countries that used to be favorite spots, places for fun vacations, business deals, or even strong friendships, are now closing their doors. And we're not talking about enemies or dangerous places. These are countries people used to love visiting. But now, they've put up new walls, new rules, and honestly, some very unfriendly vibes. Why? Some are angry at US immigration rules. Others are tired of loud, careless tourists. And some just want to push back and say, enough. The truth is, the world no longer gives Americans special treatment. The golden age of easy travel is fading. So get ready, because this list will surprise you and maybe even make you a little angry. Number 10, Brazil. The land of carnival, sunshine, beaches like Copacabana, and those sweet drinks called caipirinhas. For years, Americans could fly there easily, no visa, no stress. It felt like a dream, but that dream is over. As of 2024, Brazil now requires visas from US travelers again. A friendly rule that had been in place since 2019 has officially been canceled. Why? At first, Brazil said it was simply fairness. If Americans make Brazilians get visas, then Brazil will do the same. But deep down, there's more to the story. Many Brazilians have grown tired of American tourists arriving in huge numbers, disrespecting local culture, ignoring laws, and treating Brazil like their personal playground. People started to ask, why are we giving so much while getting so little back? Now, if you're American, you have to apply for a visa before visiting Brazil. It's not impossible, but it's enough to make some tourists stop and reconsider. You'll need proof of your travel plans, hotel bookings, income, and sometimes even go to an interview. Brazil seems to be saying something loud and clear. They won't just follow Washington's lead anymore. And guess what? Other countries are starting to feel the same. Number 9, Argentina. Another beautiful South American country is now off the visa-free list, Argentina. In 2025, the country quietly brought back visa rules for Americans. They say it's for security, but let's be real. There's a deeper reason no one wants to admit. For years, Argentina opened its arms to US travelers. Buenos Aires became a dream city for digital nomads, and the wild beauty of Patagonia was on every traveler's bucket list. But things started to change. Argentina has been facing serious economic problems, rising national pride, and a strong need to protect its own identity and rules. It didn't happen overnight. First came a reciprocity fee, then tighter borders. Now, a full visa requirement. But here's the sad twist: many Americans acted like they owned the place, spending freely due to the weak peso, but showing little respect for the locals or culture. Argentinians started to speak up. Leaders listened. And now, the welcome mat is gone. American tourists are disappearing. Hotel bookings are falling. And people are asking, was this fair? Was this necessary? Argentina is standing its ground. No more special treatment. Number 8, Turkey. Here's a real shock. Turkey, a country that once made it super easy for Americans to visit with a simple e-visa or visa on arrival, has changed the rules in 2024. Now, it's much harder for Americans to enter. And no, this isn't just about travel anymore. It's political, emotional, and personal. Turkey's government, especially under President Erdogan, has been growing more critical of the West. They want to show strength, prove they don't need to follow America's lead, and take back control. The new visa process now has longer wait times, more background checks, and you even need travel insurance. Officials say it's for security, but many believe it's a deliberate message to the US. And there's pain on both sides. Turkish citizens already face tough interviews and high rejection rates when they try to visit America. It feels humiliating for them. This policy? It's Turkey saying, We're done being treated unfairly. What's really sad? Turkey's tourism industry was finally bouncing back, and yet they're willing to risk fewer visitors just to make a statement. It's not just about visas, it's about pride, frustration, and a power struggle. Number 7. Thailand, can you believe it? Even Thailand, the beautiful land of smiles, has now said no more visa-free entry for Americans. Yes, it's true. A country that built much of its tourism on Western visitors, especially from the US, has changed its rules in 2024. It's a big part of a new immigration reform, and honestly, the reason is hard to ignore. To stop people from taking advantage of the system. For years, Americans could enter Thailand without a visa and stay for 30 days. Many just kept leaving and re-entering to reset the clock, what people called visa runs. Thousands of digital nomads and backpackers lived in Thailand for years, tax-free and often with no respect for the rules. But now, the door is closing. Americans must now apply for a visa beforehand, show proof of money, a ticket to leave, and sometimes even give fingerprints. A special task force has even been created to catch people breaking the rules. It feels like Thailand is saying, we've had enough. And here's the sad part. Not all Americans abuse the system, but they became the most visible, the loudest, the ones who treated Thailand like their playground. Locals started to feel the anger building, and now that anger has turned into action. Tourism boards are calling it responsible travel, but deep down, this is about lost trust, frustration, and standing up for fairness. The golden age of easy American travel in Southeast Asia is ending. And for many, that's a painful reality to accept. Number 6, South Africa. Here's one that's really surprising, and not many people are even talking about it. South Africa has brought back visa rules for American tourists. Yes, you heard that right. In 2024, they quietly started the change, and by 2025, it became fully enforced. The official reason? New security rules, and something called passport equality. But let's be honest, this feels like a wake-up call. Experts say it's more than just paperwork. This is a message. South Africa and the US haven't had the smoothest relationship lately. Fights over trade, climate issues, and global politics have left things tense. The old visa-free entry was a sign of friendship. But now, that welcome mat has been rolled up. Now, American travelers must go through a long, complicated process just to visit. You'll need background checks, paperwork, fingerprint scans, and even proof of how much money you have. It's stressful, and for many, it feels unfair. South Africa says this is just part of joining other countries with stricter border rules, but many believe this is their way of saying, you're not special anymore. It's shocking and honestly kind of sad. The US used to be treated like a VIP in countries like this. Now that privilege is disappearing. And it's leaving a lot of people wondering, what happened to the friendship we once had? Number 5, Indonesia. This one really hurts. Indonesia, the place where so many backpackers found peace, where Bali felt like heaven for social media stars, and where remote workers found their little slice of paradise, is no longer easy to visit for Americans. Things have changed. Big time. In 2024, the Indonesian government introduced a strict new law called the Tourism Fairness Act. And it's exactly what it sounds like. They want things to be more fair. But the truth behind it? They're angry. They say too many tourists, especially Americans, broke the rules, staying too long, working illegally, and acting like the rules didn't apply to them. Locals started to feel like their country was being used, not respected. Now, if you're from the US, you can't just show up with a passport and a smile. You have to apply for a visa at least 30 days before you go. You'll need to prove you have a hotel, show you have enough money, and even go through a character check. That's right. How you behave online could now stop you from getting in. There's even talk about an ethics rule that watches what you post on social media. It sounds unreal, but it's happening. People are shocked. Travel bloggers are upset. Forums are filled with angry posts, but the Indonesian government isn't backing down. They're serious. The message is clear. The days of showing up and treating Indonesia like a playground are over. This once open door has quietly closed for many, and it leaves a heavy feeling. Like something beautiful just got a lot harder to reach. Number 4, Morocco. This one is truly heartbreaking. Morocco, a stunning country full of color, culture, and warm welcomes, used to be one of the easiest places for Americans to visit. Wandering through the markets of Marrakesh or watching the sunset in the Sahara felt like a dream, but not anymore. In 2025, everything changed. Morocco introduced a tough new law called the National Sovereignty and Border Regulation Act, and it hit hard. Now, Americans need a visa to enter Morocco. It's not just a quick form either. This process is strict, serious, and slow, and what's worse, it feels personal. One big reason behind the change? Trust issues. Moroccan officials have been frustrated for years. They say the US doesn't share enough security info, especially about travelers who might be risky. So now, Morocco wants full control over who they let in. They're not just hoping visitors are safe, they want to be sure, but that's not all. There's also growing anger inside Morocco itself. Cities like Marrakesh and Fez have been flooded by digital nomads and tourists, many from the US who drove up rent and prices. Locals, especially young Moroccans, started to feel pushed out of their own neighborhoods. They spoke up. They protested. They said, "We want our country back." And their voices were heard. It's a sad moment. For many Americans, Morocco was a magical escape. Now that door isn't just closed, it's guarded. And the warmth that once greeted travelers is mixed with caution, control, and a quiet message. Respect our rules or don't come at all. Number 3, Malaysia. This one shocked everyone. In 2025, Malaysia made a big and painful decision. It took away visa-free entry for American travelers. Just like that, a country that once welcomed tourists with open arms decided it was time to change the rules. The official reason? Mutual respect and security? But many believe that wasn't the full story. For years, Malaysia has quietly struggled with how its own people were treated by the US government. Malaysians with perfectly legal visas were still being denied entry to America. And it started to feel insulting. It was embarrassing. It hurt. So, under pressure from rising nationalism inside the country, Malaysia finally said, "Enough." The new visa rules are tough. Americans now need to show their travel history, proof of enough money, a return flight, and if they want to stay longer, they even have to go through a personal interview. Tourism from the US dropped fast. Hotels are feeling it, businesses are losing money. But Malaysian leaders seem unmoved. Why? Because for them, this isn't just about tourism. It's about dignity. It's about standing tall. It's about saying, if you make it hard for our people to visit you, then we'll make it fair and hard for you too. It's a sad twist. A country once filled with friendly smiles and easy entry is now guarded and serious. And maybe deep down, it's about more than just visas. It's about respect that's long been missing. Number 2, Kenya. No one saw it coming. In early 2025, Kenya shocked the world, especially American travelers, by ending visa-free entry for US citizens. For years, Kenya was seen as one of Africa's most welcoming nations, full of beautiful wildlife, warm people, and open arms. But now, the doors aren't as open as they used to be. This wasn't just a random rule change. Kenya's leaders were bold and clear. "We're tired of being treated unfairly," the foreign ministry said. "Let Americans feel what our people go through just to visit the US." And with those words, everything changed. Now, if you're American, you can't just show up in Kenya anymore. You must apply for an e-visa in advance, and it's not easy. You'll go through background checks, share your full travel plans, and explain exactly why you're visiting. And don't even think about overstaying. Tourist visas are capped at 30 days. No extensions allowed. Break the rule once, and you're blacklisted for good. For many, this is heartbreaking. A place once known for its kindness and open borders is now standing firm, demanding respect. It's a loud message not just to the US, but to the whole Western world. Treat us equally or don't expect special treatment here. It's sad, it's powerful, and it's the start of something bigger. A shift, a wake-up call, a proud nation finally standing up for its people. Number 1, UAE, that bright, dazzling country in the Gulf, used to be a dream destination for millions of American travelers. But in 2025, everything changed. The UAE removed Americans from its visa-free list, and the reason? Non-reciprocal policies and new security rules. In simple terms, if you don't make it easy for us, we won't make it easy for you. But there's more. The real story behind this? The UAE is making a bold move to show its power. The old days of relying on oil money are fading. And now, the UAE wants the world to know they don't need anyone to survive. So, Americans can no longer show up without a visa. They'll need to apply for approval in advance, and it could take weeks. Business travelers are angry. Tourists are shocked. And diplomats are left red-faced. It's all a big power play. So, what's the big message here? Reciprocity. Countries are tired of the double standards they've been dealing with from the US. And now, they're setting their own rules. This is the world waking up. Countries are tired of playing by rules that only benefit a few. And now, they're fighting back. You might be sitting there, feeling shocked, maybe even a little angry. You might want to defend the US, but let's face it, things are changing. The American passport is no longer the golden ticket it once was. That sense of entitlement when walking through immigration is fading away. The truth is, you're a guest, not a ruler. And here's a wake-up call. If you want fairness, start pushing for your country to treat others with respect. That's the only way you'll get fairness in return. If this video made you reflect, hit the like button. Do you agree that travel should be fair? Share this with someone who still believes the American passport opens every door. Comment below, which country's decision surprised you the most? Do you think some of these countries are right to require visas from Americans? Let's have that conversation right here, right now.